Okay. So welcome to the Women's Health and Hormone class. Hopefully this will help you tonight to do things like track your cycle if you still have a period. If you're past into menopause, there's still a lot of support that you can give yourself naturally and ways that you can reduce toxins in the body to help support things. We're also going to look at some of the contributors towards hormone imbalance, some of the symptoms, how to support ourselves with them common symptoms that we see. But also we're going to learn a little bit about hormones and why they're so important to really get right in our body. So hormones are our chemical messengers in our body, and they travel through our bloodstream to tissues and organs, and they do lots of different processes, growth, affect our metabolism, function, reproduction, our mood, and it's called the endocrine system, a special group of cells. And our major endocrine glands are pituitary, pineal, thymus, thyroid, and adrenal, and pancreas. So they're all closely connected. So if you do have any issues in this area, if we can clean up our whole hormonal landscape, if you will, then it'll help each of these organs function better. And we all want that, don't we? Because hormones are so powerful and they're crucial to all the body functions that we see. So it only takes a tiny amount to get to be knocked off balance and cause big changes in cells, as we'll look at, and even our whole body. So too much or too little of a certain hormone can really cause serious problems for us. So we're going to look at emotional issues. We're going to look at it reducing toxic load in the body, how that's important, some nutrition and self-care, and supporting hormone balance naturally. And also, obviously, our symptoms will be reduced if we can do that, but also symptom support. With the common things, hot flushes, pain, mood swings, and how we can support ourselves and empower us to just be able to look after ourselves when these things crop up. So just as we're talking about essential oils in some of these things that we're going to use to support us, some of the blends, we're only talking about CPTG doTERRA oils because we know they're sourced naturally from where they grow in the world. They're distilled pure and nothing's added to them. And we can really sort of bet our life on them that they are the best oils that we can use for our body. Just be aware that any oils that you buy that don't go through the testing that doTERRA go through could actually affect your hormones reversely in a bad way. We've heard of things like, I don't know if you've heard of the effects of lavender and other oils on people's hormones, and that's purely because of the synthetic chemicals that cause xenoestrogens, and it can cause problems. So really, it's so important to use 100% pure oils. And when I say 100% pure oils, I don't mean it because sometimes it says that on the shop bought ones. We mean certified pure tested grade oils. Those that when it's right to do so, if they're a herb, then if you can actually drink it and it says suitable for food use, you know that they're a good oil in most cases. And it's so therapeutic. So imagine if you've tried an oil and it's maybe had an effect on your sleep. Imagine trying a doTERRA oil. Just one drop is all you need, and it goes a very long way, and it can affect every cell in our body. So all the oils that we talk about tonight are great, but any oils that you've got already from doTERRA will positively affect the body. Okay, so a little bit about our symptoms. So when we think of if we're still in our cycle, if we still have a cycle, then you maybe want to look at the first day of your period, day 0 to 7. That's our menstrual period. That's known as the winter time, and it's often times that you withdraw. You feel a little bit, you just want to cuddle up, have blankets, and eat chocolate. And it's really useful to track your period date and also track where you're up to with regards to let's say you're close to your next period. You're probably in the luteal stage, which is autumn. You'll feel energy shifts. You may feel less social. You may feel cravings towards some dark chocolate. And instead of doing maybe activities that you might have done in these stages where you'll feel a lot more energized based on your hormone balance, in this stage, you might want to do less, just gentle low impact exercise, still keeping fit, but just in a gentler way. I know a lot of friends now, they live their life around the cycle and they don't put too many appointments around this area, too many social gatherings, because they know they're not going to feel the best. So if we want to do something, if we want to start a new task or feel inspired, we want to be doing it around spring, summer, the follicular and the ovulatory stage where we have big energy surges, we feel hungry, we feel motivated, we have lots of energy. It's also important at this time, especially around this time of ovulation, to make sure that we have enough nutrients. Some people fast at this time. We know fasting's got its benefits, but particularly our body needs a lot of energy that time. So it's important not to just one of the hormone ladies that we work with, she says, and I love this quote, that women don't have a 24-hour cycle like men. We have a monthly cycle, so we're a different woman every day. When we wake up every day, we're totally different from the day before. So it's really important that we see, if we're hungry in the morning, then we eat. If we're not hungry, we can, and we're fine to fast, that's fine. But just go with the flow. Your body will tell you if it needs some nutrition at that time. So really go with this sort of seasonal look on the cycle. It's a lot more gentler. We don't need to be, working like on a mouse on a wheel, like 28 days of the month. We can really just try and hone in and change our social diaries according to how we feel. If we really want to just hibernate for a few days, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so the endocrine system, as we've said, it's a network of glands in our body, and it makes the hormones talk to each other and communicate. And as we said, it's responsible for almost every cell. If it doesn't work correctly, we can have various health problems. If we think of the house in the picture, think of it being cluttered. There's loads of stuff on the stairway. You can't, you've seen these houses on these programs like hoarders houses where you can't get in. Anyway, it's quite embarrassing. They've got piles of stuff. Think of your body like that. If we've got a lot of excess toxins that have not been got out, then our cells can't communicate properly. So we do need to, it's really important to cleanse the body and make sure we have a low tox life, basically. That includes our cleaning products and our skincare, as we'll go into. And that will really make a huge difference. Some simple things that we can do will make a massive difference, and it's not expensive. It's similar to a motorway. The cars are the hormones trying to travel through the bloodstream to reach the different organs and tissue through the body, doing their various natural functions. And if you think of each gland as a slip road, and we're going to look at some irresponsible drivers in our in our bloodstream, and they're called xenoestrogens. So everything's working fine. The cars are going up and down the motorway, traveling to their destination, and it's fine. And the target cells are the exits. What causes havoc is when you get these xenoestrogens, which we'll talk about, and they can drive at the wrong side, cause crashes. They may be on the phones, and they're all over the place. These xenoestrogens, if you remember nothing from this class, these are what can cause havoc with our hormones. We really want to make sure we reduce the amount we have in our body. So some of the symptoms that we may be facing because our hormones are a little bit out of balance, because naturally, let's say we live a perfect life, we have no toxins in our body, naturally our body will get to the right. If you see there, the hormone chemicals getting to the cell and sending the correct signal. If everything's working fine, we should feel very little symptoms in our cycle. If we do have an imbalance, we could see any of these in our sort of breast cell overstimulation. We may get very tender breasts, hot flushes, water retention, irritability, weight gain, lots of different things. It could be very different according to what imbalance because our bodies are unique, aren't they? So if it's not mentioned here, it could be that it's a sign of imbalance. What's alarming is sometimes you go maybe to the doctors and they sometimes say that's just totally normal. Maybe you're cramping in so much pain that it's just it's not, it doesn't feel right, but oh, it's just normal. Well, actually it isn't, and we don't have to suffer. We can do a lot of self-help to help us. We're not saying don't go to the doctor, because we know it's important for serious matters like this. If there's something out of balance for a long period of time, then we do need to get checked out. But there's a lot we can do as well as the doctor to clean up what's going on in our body, to help our body on the way. So these xenoestrogens that we talked about, these bad drivers in our body, these are synthetic compounds that then mimic the natural estrogens in the body, and they overstimulate the normal functions. If you see there, that's the natural one getting to the right signal, and the xenoestrogen is like an imposter. It's pretending to be estrogen, but it's not, and then it's going the wrong way. So the body doesn't know what to do. Some of causes, or how do you know that you've got an imbalance? Well, it's very obvious today that more and more ladies, girls are having menstruation very, very at a young age, more so than years ago. And that a contributor to that is xenoestrogens and more chemicals, more cosmetics that girls are using younger and younger. Overproduction of breast tissues in men and women, infertility, thyroid issues, endometriosis, and early uncomfortable menopause as well. So that's the xenoestrogens, the baddies. And where can we find xenoestrogens? Well, in everyday cleaning products, as well as perfumes and beauty products and medications. So they're all over, they're all around, and we can't get away from them totally, but we can do what we can within reason to avoid these things. And we'll show you how. It's quite shocking, isn't it, that women can put an average of 168 chemicals on their body every day. And I'm sure a lot of us here don't put half as much, which is great, but there's a lot we can do. There's a lot more we can do to help. We know phthalates are a family of chemicals used in plastics and cosmetics, and they can cause reproductive problems. They're a group of gender-bending chemicals, actually, so it can cause a lot of problems. Very scary, really. Not enough research has been done just to see the effects that has happened with young people. And all these products, many people use on a daily basis. So there's some simple swaps we can do to reduce our toxic load, and it's really important that you do your research. There's some good apps and there's some not so good apps that really help to understand some of the toxins in everyday things that you use for your body washes, creams, etc. One thing that when I got into this sort of industry, I didn't realize that things that go on my skin go straight into my bloodstream, and we know what your bloodstream is part of your endocrine system, so it is going to cause problems. So just bear in mind, whatever you're putting on your skin, is it clean? Could you eat it? Is a good sort of idea to look for. I used to have the plugins. I used to have all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I used to have all the cleaning products and everything. And before I got into doTERRA, and then I realized obviously I had bad hormone problems, and probably the biggest change for me was swapping out this, and it made a huge difference to my cycle, and it's helped a lot of people. So I'm a firm believer, because it's happened to me and I've seen the results, and now I swim through my cycle. Not saying I'm not psychopath now and again, but I do generally swim through my cycle. And things like cleansers, moisturizers, things like that, you can really get some really good products. Not just doTERRA, there's some clean, good products on the market, but really do your research, because even if it says natural, there's lots of hidden junk in there. So you really have to be so careful with the ingredients list. And the biggest change, or the most important change, if you're going to do anything, because we know it can sometimes be costly swapping out things that you've got, is the deodorant. Either we've got DIY recipes for you making your own deodorant, or if you can get a really good one yourself, doTERRA do them and other companies, because it's so close to our lymph nodes. We really want to make sure our armpits are our detoxification method, and our body is trying to get toxins out through sweat glands. If we're blocking it with antiperspirant chemicals, it's just not going to be able to get out. So you will find when you switch from a normal deodorant to a natural one, things will start to be unpleasant and smelly, and that will take quite a few weeks to get out, but it's the toxins coming out. So just keep washing, keep natural sprays or whatever you want to use, and it will happen, and it's a good sign. Okay, so this is a lifespan, an average lifespan, for a woman's life from the childbearing years. You can see the estrogen levels rise and drop through the month. When it gets to perimenopause time, which is anything from 38 onwards, you can see the big spike there in estrogen. Generally, from experience and sort of research, people have too much estrogen and too little progesterone. They're generally estrogen dominant, and we'll see why soon. Because one of the reasons is we're often got high stress lives, and we're in cortisol, we're in that fight or flight mode. So our body deals progesterone, which is the hormone that we want to hold on to because it's so precious. It keeps us calm. It helps with things like our reproductive organs. It helps with libido and things like that. So progesterone is something that we really want to hold on to. But generally, it's the thing that goes first when we're in a high state of stress all the time. So it's really important we manage stress as well to help balance our hormones. Also, if we're feeling very fatigued and we get ill a lot, or we've got chronic issues all the time, it may be that we're not getting the nutrients we need. And the Lifelong Vitality Pack covers everything that you need, from all the vitamins, minerals, extracts, omegas, everything you need to cover the body's functioning. It fills all the gaps nutritionally. It's equivalent to like 12 portions of fruit and veg if you have the full dose there. And it really is a game changer for energy. So with it being a money back guarantee, if you don't feel the difference, because doTERRA are confident that this is the best seller. In fact, not essential oils, it's this. This is the star product. It's fresh, it's whole food, the body absorbs it because it's got bioavailable food sources of the vitamins. So if you've bought it from a health food shop before, I've spent a fortune not realizing it's synthetically made, and it just comes out. It's expensive whey sometimes. So make sure if you're getting a decent vitamin, if you're not getting a Lifelong Vitality, that it's whole food and bioavailable. So that's a Lifelong Vitality Pack. I'm not going to go into the Meta Power at the moment, but if anyone's interested in the metabolism, they just need to reach out to Every Vitam, and we can send you details on how to improve your metabolism with some of the products as well. So over to the Women's Health Kit, and this can really help with some of those symptoms that we've talked about. We've got phytoestrogen, which is a supplement that we would take to help support healthy estrogen balance. Whether high or low, it doesn't matter, it will balance. Claricalm is the woman's sort of monthly blend, and it's fantastic whether you're 12 years old or whatever, right through to past into menopause. When you don't have a cycle anymore, it still is amazing at helping just to calm you and also help with the hormone balance. But we'll talk about what we've got in this Claricalm, so you can have a look at just how wonderful it is. And then we've got the bone nutrient complex. We're going to talk a little bit about bone health, but first of all, the Claricalm. So you've probably seen the benefits of clary sage. That's like the key essential oil, isn't it, for helping support women's health. Clary sage is one of the ingredients, but also we've got lavender, bergamot, Roman chamomile, cedarwood, ylang ylang, geranium, which is amazing for liver cleansing. It helps balance the endocrine system. And if you look at each one, it has an association with our hormones, and it can help. Palmarosa supports healthy thyroid levels. doTERRA are very clever in researching, and the scientific, they're at the top of the game. So they know exactly what ingredients we need. So all we need to do is roll it on our wrists or our ankles, breathe it in, and do that every day for our cycle. And by the next cycle, I'd love to hear any difference, because we've had some amazing testimonials, even just using this little roller, nothing else, for 30 days. Obviously, it's good to get it into it for about 3 months, but just at the next cycle, see any difference in symptoms. Apply to the lower abdomen when you do have your cycle, because it will help with the cramping. And it is neat oil, so you can actually transfer it into another roller and fill it with coconut oil, and one for you, one for your daughter, or just have one on your bedside table because you want to get this in your system on a daily basis. So one thing that if you're a 80s child, either 70s or 80s, and you grew up in the 90s, would be Weight Watchers, Slimming World, and a no-fat diet. Rosemary Conley. It was all about no fat. And we're very different now. We know that the research has been done and the benefits of full fat products, within obviously within reason. And things like avocados, are so beneficial. So we knew a woman who had constant hormonal migraines, and it turns out she didn't have any fat in her diet. And we know fat's essential, because it's a precursor to progesterone. So we need good cholesterol, and we need this in order to make progesterone. So please make sure you have healthy fats, walnuts, and other fatty acids in your diet. Don't be scared of it because it's the pure stuff. So we can't get fat on this. It's the dairy milk that makes us fat. All right. So make sure we get some good fats in our diet. What was interesting, the benefits of Vitex. It's a herb that's grown. You can see the picture there, Vitex leaf. You can even get an extra supplement of this. It promotes the production of progesterone, which helps to reduce that estrogen dominance. And it keeps our ovaries healthy. It actually interacts with our dopamine receptors, and just helps to balance the levels of our progesterone. So very clever ingredients in this little bottle. Okay, so just in summary, what we've learned so far is we've got estrogen naturally produced in the body, and if everything's going fine, it works as it should. We've got xenoestrogens, which are synthetic man-made estrogens that we found in the common cleaning products and cosmetics and things like that. And then we've got phytoestrogens, which are found in plants. We haven't really talked about phytoestrogens yet, but we will. But just out of these, which one do you think causes the most problems? Let you think about that. So phytoestrogens. So when we think of estrogen, some people get confused with the phytoestrogens as in what it does, and they think that they're taking estrogen in the body. So just want to make sure you know that if you think of the word phyto, think fight the fake estrogens. That's all it's trying to do. It's help to block the bad xenoestrogens, not adding any estrogen back in the body, but to bring the body back to balance. It contains naturally occurring plant compounds that are similar to estrogens produced in the body, and they bind to the estrogen receptors, and they just help, just really detoxify as well. So it may be if you do start taking this, and we say take one for a while, especially if you're premenopausal, just take one. And if you're getting up to peri to menopause, then you can take 2 a day. However you feel, actually, you can just talk to us about that. You will find maybe some symptoms that are uncomfortable when you're taking this, some detoxification symptoms. We've had a lot of testimonials with this. It's changed in a good way, but early on it's like spots around the chin, and we know the chin is a direct relation to our reproductive organs, our hormone landscape. So that's a sign that we're getting some of them toxins out. So that's really good. And we might smell a bit more, but just work with it and try it for 3 months. Obviously, see how your body reacts to it as well, because we know it doesn't always work for everyone, but in general, this is a really powerful thing to help, with our hormone balance. We might take some testimonials in a minute as well, if anyone wants to. As well as the supplement, we can also take natural phytoestrogens in our diet and add it to our meals as well. Some examples there. And just talking about bone density, as women, we have higher amounts of bone fractures, hip replacements as we're getting older, because I think it's over 50, well, as soon as basically you hit that time, the estrogen declines and our and bone density declines at the same time. So we're more likely to get osteoporosis, and things like that because we're not producing enough. So it's really important we get a good supplement. The Lifelong Vitality Pack is fantastic. This is a great supplement on its own as well, or alongside that. And it really works great as a women's health kit in general, because whether you're a teenager or you want to keep your bones healthy as you're getting older, then this is a great time. Now's a great time, because it doesn't matter if you haven't done it before. We want to, if you have a fall, we want to just keep your bones strong, don't we, as you're getting older, and less risk of replacements and fractures and things like that. So it's got vitamin D and calcium. It's got two types of vitamin D, and these are bioavailable, so they are absorbed in the body. And a really a really good value product. I think it's about £16 roughly. Somebody might have told different, for 120 capsules. So an amazing product. And I also use it for my children because they're in the teenage years. And often, even though you try to feed them well, they often don't eat very well. So if you're worried in the formative years of, we're talking about older children now, not getting enough nutrients, then definitely pop them a bone nutrient. Obviously, check the details with the age and stuff like that. But it's really good if you're worried about the development and the growth, then this would be a good one. Okay, so some essential oils that can really help support. We've looked at some in the Clary Calm blend, but just in general, some of the single oils. We know that clary sage, if you have clary sage, it's really going to help with menstrual cramps and tension. Um, it's going to help to decrease our cortisol levels naturally. So we can use that. We can put clary sage in some Epsom salts in our lovely bath. So if you want a bit of a hormone bath, if you're in that period of time where you think, oh, I'm not feeling well, it's coming up to the day zero and you're dreading it, make yourself a clary sage relaxing bath. Put clary sage on your ankles, make up a roller with some of these oils in. It's just going to be wonderful at calming you. And if you're feeling anxious, because some days in the month, because of the hormone balance, we may feel particularly anxious, and that's normal. So a lot of these can really help support anxiety. We know that ylang ylan's really good for supporting libido as well as cardiovascular health. And they all do something very, very different. Geranium's just fantastic for so many things. So if you have geranium, it is in the clary calm. So you can see the value of the clary calm because of so many in one bottle, but these are wonderful on their own as well. And bergamot is just wonderful for de-stressing, calming, and just really helps to with stress and mood uplift as well. And obviously frankincense, we can't go without saying frankincense in the class because it's just wonderful. If frankincense protects and helps our cells, we talked about our cells, haven't we? Frankincense will go a long way in helping to support hormone balance, because it has that balancing effect on the whole body. Okay, here's some little recipes that you might want to take away with you or take a screenshot. We've got the Superwoman blend, clary sage, lavender, cedarwood, geranium, ylang ylang. Brain fog be gone, one of the symptoms that we sometimes struggle with. Wild orange, bergamot, rosemary, peppermint, frankincense. That is really wonderful. And a stress relief blend. So really simple: lavender, frankincense, and wild orange. If you don't have any, some of these oils, just use what you have because it will still be wonderful. Yeah. So ways you can use it is the Superwoman you can apply over the ovaries and wrists. The ankles are our reflex points to the ovaries, depending on the inner or outer. And what's really nice is, like, for example, this one or this one could be on the back of your neck, really cooling, behind the ears, especially if you're getting hot flushes. Peppermint's fantastic. Applying to the palms and taking some big deep breaths when you're feeling stressed, because the aroma goes straight to our limbic system, and that can really help us calm us down. So in the kits, if you've got a family essentials kit or a home essentials kit, this is a fantastic start. You can add on things like the clary calm or whatever else you want, but things like lavender is in the clary calm. We've got lemon for detoxing our body, using that in water to help cleanse our body. We've got peppermint for things like hot flushes, if we've got digestive issues caused by some of this IBS, and Zenjet. And we've got something for sleep, calming with frankincense, on guard to support our immune system. If we're feeling chronically fatigued, we know that's a symptom for a lot of people. They're constantly getting ill and feeling so tired and lethargic. On guard with a really strengthening blend if you use it on a daily basis. So these kits are a fantastic start, and I know a lot of us that use it already, we wouldn't be without these 10. Yeah, we use extra hormone ones, but without these 10, it's like our sort of life kit. So definitely is a great help. But also, when we talked about green cleaning, we use tea tree and lemon to clean the toilet. We use On Guard because they're all antibacterial, antimicrobial oils. So we use it in our spray bottle and make our green cleaning oils with this. So if you've got this kit, you're pretty much sorted for skincare, you're sorted for green cleaning, and you're sorted for what you're putting on your body as well. So it's a really good value. Don't think of it just being just a kit. Think of it changing your whole life in your house for making things. So we've got the Family Essentials kit, and with the coconut oil, you also get a free bubble diffuser, which is a motion activated diffuser. So when you pop the oil in, when you go past, it just squirts out a lovely fragrance. And obviously it's natural, it's going to uplift your mood, or if it's a relaxing oil, it's going to really help. And these are 5 ml bottles, so there's 85 drops in each bottle. Remember, a drop a day is all you need when you're using oils. So you can see roughly how long that's going to last you. 85 drops, a drop or two a day. The Home Essentials kit is 3 times the size, so 15 ml, and you're getting 250 drops in 9 of the bottles. Deep Blue's always a 5 ml. Deep Blue's the pain and tension blend, which is fantastic for sort of arthritic joints, neck tension, headaches, any sort of pain that you find in the body. So this is, it's almost, I think it's double the price, but 3 times the size. So it is a fantastic value. You get a diffuser that's a plug-in with the water diffuser, the normal one, but you also get the bubble free as well. So you're getting 2, and then your coconut oil as well. Yeah, you get a free coconut oil. We're going to give away a free coconut oil for that one if anyone's interested. And I think, yeah, that's everything. There's other kits that come with sort of vitamins and oils, but obviously reach out to whoever's invited you just to have a look at what's best to start with for you. And there's extra things like the Claricalm Serenity blend, which is like a natural sleeping tablet, Zendocrine, which helps to detoxify the body, along with the lemon water. And then we've got the women's health kit. These prices probably need to be checked and might need updating, so apologies if they're slightly off. I think that's everything. Oh no, women's survival. Yeah, these are just some ideas of how we can use some of the oils to help support our mood. So if you're really struggling with stress and anxiety, definitely recommend getting some wild orange in your home. That's like the biggest, happiest oil, as well as lemon. Balance is a fantastic grounding blend, something that I use every day to support my anxiety levels. And you've basically, even in your kit, you've got lemon, peppermint, and lavender. So that would be a fantastic start for supporting your mood that way, because lemon's great for focus. Peppermint is also good to energize you throughout the day. If you're feeling a bit tired, you can just breathe that in, pop it in your diffuser, pop it on the back of your neck, and it's so cooling as well. Also helps to clear your airways for snoring and things like that with the menthol in there. So that's a few ideas. Yeah, so things like a lot of people have it sort of emotional issues from the past that are connected sometimes with what symptoms they feel. So sometimes it's good to do a bit of an emotional detox. And geranium can help with that, as well as the Forgive blend. So if we've got things that we're stagnant energy or stagnant feelings from the past that are quite painful, then I would definitely go with the Forgive. But any trauma, basically start with the Forgive blend. It can really help to release gently some of these feelings, and that will go a long way in supporting our hormones as well if we're holding on to things. We've got Whisper, which is similar to Claricalm. It helps to balance hormones, but it also is quite a musky feminine blend. And that's also a really good one for women. And we've talked about these two there. So yeah, just a little bit. I think some of you might have felt like that sometimes. So if you're feeling like that, hot flushes, we've got the wonderful peppermint, which is really cooling. You can make a peppermint spritz and keep it in the fridge. But hopefully you won't be as bad, because if you're doing some of these things that we've mentioned, cleaning up what's going on in this on your skin, then that should really help balance some of that. If you're really struggling with energy, we've got this wonderful Mito 2 Max Energy and Stamina supplement, which is just fantastic at helping the body use its energy more efficiently. Okay, and that's been a game changer for me personally too. If you wanted to start on a cleansing kind of route, then I would start with lemon in your water, maybe 5 times a day, and do some Zendocrine. Zendocrine oil is fantastic. It stands for endocrine. So Zendocrine, it just helps to clean out toxins, it helps the body pull toxins out. You can actually put it under your armpits to help detoxify. You can make a detox bath salt with Epsom salt, put some drops in as a detox bath. You can make detox tea with it, just to drop in with your own herbal tea, and take it in a veggie capsule if you want to take it internally as well. You can also body brush with it. There's so many things that can really help, because we know the skin is a big detoxification. What's the word? Medium to get things out. So lots of things there to think about. Don't to overwhelm you too much, but I think we've covered everything there, and I will stop recording and we'll open it up to any questions or testimonials if you would like to speak.